Most people today have problems traceable to their foundations. One of the most important part of every structure, if not the most important, is the foundation. As it is in the physical, so it is in the spirit. Foundation. Effort at foundation will translate into effects on the construction. Input into foundations will determine output from the construction. Foundations determine the strength of structure. We said that foundations determine durability or stability of structure. And foundations determine stature, how high a building can go, how tall a building can rise. It is how deep we went in the earth that determines how high a structure can go. Foundations determine the future of a structure. We must lay foundations of righteousness for life and destiny. Righteousness gives you a foundation that can last. When your life is established on the grounds of righteousness, you have a foundation that can last. We must lay foundations on scriptural standards. Foundations of childhood. The foundations of childhood. Children must be raised on the foundations of righteousness and godly standards. The child of today is an adult of tomorrow. What happens with the life of a child now determines what becomes of that child when they are grown. Abuse must be avoided at all costs. Don't abuse a child, and never watch a child abused, and never be too careless to guard your children against abuses. The man raped the little girl. That was sin. But the little girl later on turned into a prostitute. That was the collateral damage of that sin. He did wrong by raping the girl, but God will hold him responsible for manufacturing a prostitute. Exposure to evil must be avoided at all costs. Exposure to evil. The child must not be exposed to evil. Bad character display before children must be avoided. In fact, bad character display must be avoided not just before children, but at all times. But importantly, children, you are lying. You are sitting on the dining table, making a phone call, and your children are hearing you. Okay, yes, I'm speaking to you from Lagos. He's in Wuse, Zone 5, sitting on his dining table with children around him. When I return back from Lagos, I will call. You see, you are destroying a generation. See the man who sent his son to tell his creditor, the man is owing money. Tell the man I'm not at home. And he met the man at the entrance. Where's your father? My father said I should tell you he's not at home. Teaching the child how to lie. And we are talking about a society that is filled. That child that lied at that time will forge results and do anything. A future ruined. We would have education, the foundation of education. Unrighteousness is never a promoter. Iniquity is never a lifter in your education. Exam malpractice must be avoided at all costs. Must be. We live in days where we hear that there are places they call wonder centers for GC or WAEC. Even if you take, no matter how dummy, the dummiest dummy will graduate with straight A's, where they buy exam paper, where 24 hours to the exam, they have a place where they can check and get all the examination questions and answers. You put them in Wonder Center and they pass GC and then they become wanderers in life, placeless, because of standing on a foundation that has no future. Bribe the teacher to award marks that the child didn't have. Pay the school to pass the child. We hear all manner of things at all levels, where you can make some payments to even find who can mark the script for you, and they will mark and pass the school. All manner. But what shall it profit a man if he gain all the marks and lose his soul? And what can a man give in exchange for his soul? You can get a first-class result and a third-class life. A failed life, in fact. Forgeries of certificates or results must be avoided at all costs. Must. Somebody is using another person's certificate. I met a man who was using the certificate of his dead brother. The brother has died, and that's the certificate he's using to proceed. So his life was battered, shattered, scattered. How can the living start on a foundation of death? How? I am saying this because you carry such a certificate and entered into a career. The career is dead on arrival. DOA. Man is using a dead man's certificate. A certificate he bought. BID. Brought in dead. Do you understand what I'm saying? There are people with fake visas. They catch them somewhere. Some are cooling their head in some European prisons. Money or immorality for marks. There are places where they pay money. You pay the lecturer to pass. They are selling children handouts that they didn't need. If you didn't buy it, you must fail. Or in fact, outright payment to pass. Or immorality for marks. That is, you got a certificate that you sold your body to get. What is that? It's a wrong foundation for your future, if that is what you are getting. Career and destiny foundation. How you got into the job, the background that ushered you into the work you are doing, it matters for your future. Because there are people whose problems make the pastor look like he's not called of God, or the sickness makes the doctor look like he didn't do a training. Perennial things that are tied to foundational issues. Depart from evil, do good if you are interested in the future. Bribery to secure a job must be avoided at all costs. You bribed to be able to get the form. Bribed to be scheduled for the interview. You bribed. Gave somebody money. I hear there are influential people who, if they have enough money, they can bribe. They can buy. In fact, there are jobs that could be bought. Takes 1 point something million or something, just enough money, and then your relation can have a job. So we have a system that is non-working at all. I also heard that positions can be bought. If you have enough money, you can buy some things. If you know enough people, you can give some money. There are people who are from maybe Benue State. You want to join soldier. You pass through Plateau State. You want to join state of origin, Plateau. It's from Kwara. Pass through Ogun State. He has joined the soldier. But his foundation is wrong. He wants good his way. And he has come. He did all manner of maneuvers and arrived. Just struggling at all points. Promotion exam struggle. Just struggle. What he didn't do, they say he did. Sent him to a war front. He almost lost his leg. The leg you used to do chua-chua. Like they used to call it. Take your seat. I'm sure you understand what I'm talking about. Take your seat. See, we have a society that is so used to the wrong thing. You are listening to this because God loves us. Compromise to get or keep jobs must be avoided at all costs. Immoral compromise, other forms of compromise. If you can write, testify that this man didn't do his work, we'll sack him and then you take his position. There are people who do all manner of things. False declaration of age to get jobs must be completely avoided. Somebody was born in 1980, which means is how many years? 39 years. But they said we need people that are 30 years and below. It's okay. In that case, I was born in 1995. 3rd of June, 1995. That is, I am only 24 years. Instead of 39 years. He discounted 15 years. He gave himself 15 years discount. The question is, do you want to die 15 years before your time? Just subtracted 15 years. Subtracted minus 15 years. He minus 15 years from his life. He got the job, but he didn't get the job. Every time he looks at his CV, degree, date of birth, 1995, arrow hit his chest. There is nothing compulsory in this life. If you have to do that to get a government job, become self-employed. Or look for a private or any kind of job. Crooked things must be avoided in order for your future in this world and in the world to come.